Yo, what's going on, you guys? We have a brand new deck video for you guys today. Today, we're going to be talking about my favorite Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross list. It's going to be a Sauron Thunderbolt Ross list, but let's go ahead and jump right into it. So in case you guys did not know, Thunderbolt Ross is the brand new Series 5 card that is in Spotlights this week. That is a 2/2 with the ability, when your opponent ends a turn with unspent energy, draw a card with 10 or more power. You're seeing this a lot in Surtur. You're seeing this a lot potentially in High Evo. I'm using it in Sauron here to be able to get some actually really solid value when it comes to this card. This card will continually get better, especially in this shell when Starbrand does come out next season, since it now has an ongoing ability and is a 3/10. But let's go ahead and jump right into the list. So this is what we are working with. It is very similar to the Sauron shell that you guys probably saw a lot of last season. But we are playing more into some of these higher costed or higher powered cards in the sense to get Scar value, using Thaddeus Ross for your Red Skull, your Scar, your Typhoid Mary, or your Cold Obsidian. You do have Ares in this list as well. Ares you could potentially swap out, especially when Starbrand comes out. It's going to be interesting if you either swap out Ares or Gladiator. It really just depends on where the meta's at, because you are wanting to have 10 power cards to be able to get more Thaddeus Ross value, trying to get that Scar value, but also to get the Ares value, you want to have some of these bigger cards still in your deck. So there is some kind of potential anti-synergy when it comes to Thaddeus Ross and Ares, but for the most part, I was actually not experiencing that. But this list felt really solid. Let's go ahead and break each card down, why they're in this list individually, and as always, the deck code will be down in the description below. So starting off, first and foremost, we do have Zabu in this list. We do have 3 4-drops in here. That is why we do have Zabu to get that value, whether it is going to be Ares, Cold Obsidian, or Typhoid Mary. You're using this to be able to potentially play them out earlier or be able to play them out more later together at the end of the game. It really just depends on how your Scar setup is going at the time of this, the cards being played. Next, we do have Zero. This removes the text of the next card you played, which is really good to be able to use on your Typhoid Mary and to be able to use on your Red Skull. Those are the main targets there. You can use it on an Ebony Maul as well if you're trying to get some priority out early, but more often than not, I'm probably saving Ebony Maul towards the end of the game to be able to drop that 7 power, because our opponent normally forgets we have Ebony Maul or has to think about that 7 power going somewhere, which Ebony Maul is right here on screen, and it has the ongoing ability. You cannot play any cards in this lane, and it also cannot be played post turn 3. Sauron, of course, negates this ability, allowing you to play this whenever, kind of like a War Machine allows you to play this card whenever. And then next, we do have Thaddeus Ross. So, Thaddeus Ross is in this list to be able to enable you to get draws, which is what I've really enjoyed about this card itself. It allows you to be able to kind of further your curve more than your opponents if you do get Thaddeus to go off. At the same time, your opponent does have to spend all of their energy each turn to make sure your Thaddeus Ross does not go off. So there has been a lot of instances where my opponents actually played suboptimally just to make sure they spent enough energy so I'm not hitting my curve before they can, which honestly is another dub in my opinion. Also, this is a really good Red Guardian target. So if your opponent Red Guardians this, it enables you to kind of have power to float around elsewhere for all sorts of other shenanigans. Granted, Red Guardian doesn't really shut off a lot of stuff in this list per se, but making it so it's affecting this opposed to some other targets is honestly pretty impactful, or mainly if your opponent just can't play optimally, that is where this card really is going to pop off. And I think this card will just continually get better. I know some people are low on this card. I'm fairly high on this card still. I think this card is going to be a good card. It's just maybe right now people aren't playing it, or are only playing it in these Sauron or Surtur or Arishem, or the shells they're playing in are just really boring, and people don't like boring, but they still play Doom 2099. So I guess you can't have your cake and eat it too. But anyways, next we also do have Iron Patriot. Iron Patriot's another good just card generator card. Your opponent has to guess what you have in your hand. You have a lot of cards in this list that can help you fight to be able to win lanes, whether it is a Gladiator, whether it is zeroing an Ebony Maul to add 7 power to your Iron Patriot lane. Maybe you had Zabu out early, so then you can also play one of your bigger cards, whether that is a Typhoid Mary, a Cold Obsidian, or even an Ares to be able to get that value and truly just push your deck even further. So you're able to do that. We also do have Sauron with the brand new splits. This split is really weird, but you know, it's brand new, so I have it on the card. Sauron removes the text of all ongoing cards in your deck and in your hand. It hits both at the same time with its on reveal. So it works with your Ebony Maw, it works with your Red Skull, it works with your Typhoid Mary. Those are the 3 cards, and it's going to work with your Starman. That's going to be 4 cards that Sauron's going to be able to hit. Of course, that's going to be later into next season, but we are huge Sauron enjoyers here on this channel, and it feels like it is a really solid shout in the shell. And then, of course, we have Gladiator. This is a lot of just big power you're adding onto the board to be able to win your Iron Patriot lane, to potentially ruin a combo for your opponent. If you're seeing a lot more still just like Scar shenanigans, it might be time to just not run Gladiator. Maybe you do another 4-drop instead. Maybe you do an Enchantress because you're still seeing a lot of this ongoing stuff, whether it is with Sam Wilson, and, you know, there's still Mr. Negative and stuff going on as well. That's what I would probably swap for, is an Enchantress potentially in this list, or another just like high-powered 3-drop, or maybe like a Lizard, just some sort of card that just can give you a lot of power. I do think Enchantress would be a great fit in the shell, especially when Starbrand comes out. Same thing when it comes to Ares. You could potentially run a different 4 cost. Maybe you want to run a Crossbones, or maybe you do want to go back into like the Surtur stuff. Same with Gladiator. Maybe you want to go Surtur instead because you are dropping big power. You're not going to get as crazy Surtur value as you may in like a pure Surtur shell, but I think you could also work that in here too. I do think Enchantress, though, is a very good shout with the way the meta is right now. Atuma, you know, Crossbones, other cards you could potentially play in here, but I would probably not play those just quite yet. I would still wait, and that just goes way more into a Surtur shell opposed to the Sauron shell. We're trying to keep those a little bit separate, even though this is kind of a hybrid. Then you have Coal Obsidian, which of course you can only play this onto a card, a 1-drop card. And then going back to Ares, Ares, you know, is the on reveal, the top 3 cards in your deck. If you have more power than your opponent, you get plus 6 power. You have a lot of big cards in here, and that's why I have Ares in this list. But this works on your Zabu, it works on your Ebony Maw and your Zero, so you have 3 different 1-drops to be able to play onto your Coal Obsidian. There's also some locations that can help with that as well. It just felt like a really solid card to have in here. It's good for the Ares value. It's good for the Scar value. That's why I have Coal Obsidian. Typhoid Mary, say 410. You have Sauron to be able to remove the ongoing ability that afflicts all the cards in your lane on your side of the board with -2 power. Zero, of course, takes that off as well, so you have 2 enablers there to be able to negate this Typhoid Mary ability. Another 10-power card that gives you Scar value. Red Skull, also 0 negates this ability. Same with Sauron. It's 14 power you're adding to a lane. If you do not negate this ability, your opponent gets +2 power on every single card they have in this lane, and it can cost you the game. So just keep that in mind when you're playing your Red Skull out, thinking about the options, what your opponent has on the board, what they maybe potentially can play as well. This is a Sauron list, so this does negate that ability, so just keep that in mind as well. And then, of course, we do have Scar, which does get discounted by -2 whenever you play cards that have 10 or more power and they end up on the board. Cassandra Nova, of course, hurts this card. I've been seeing a little bit more of that recently, especially because Thaddeus Ross is out. They want to be able to negate that so Thaddeus Ross doesn't get that extra, you know, power and oomph into your hand since it is a targeted draw. But it feels really solid into this shell to be able to potentially play out on final turn a Scar, a Coal Obsidian, and an Ebony Maw because you have the energy and you have 2 different 10-power cards on the board to be able to get the Scar value. It just fits really well into this shell. But we're going to go ahead and jump into some gameplay from stream, which I am streaming Snap again on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. So if you guys do want to check out the Marvel Snap streams, they will be down in the description below, will be the link to my Twitch. But let me go ahead, jump right into the gameplay, and I will see you guys at the end of the video. With Thaddeus Ross, we have Zabu on curve with all of our 4-drops in our deck. So we're going to get some immediate Zabu value here. Immediate Zabu value. To Thanos. Do we have some fun? Maybe this works the way I think it's gonna work. Do I get 2 draws if they don't play enough energy here? 2 draws, actually, if they don't play? Please give me 2. Oh my gosh. And the Nico, there's 1. Oh, there's 2. Oh, that's huge. That is huge. So now I snap. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Max mastery on Jean Grey? I think my Jean Grey's at like 30, not 24. We are Jean stands over here. And then Sam Wilson also is another 1 cost that you can play Cole Obsidian on. I think that's probably where he was going with that. Aranya. Triskelion. I could have set up Dockin with stuff there. I don't want to. Madam Web. That's pretty good. Yeah, the shield. The shield's what I meant. But that's why like Sam's in the deck is for that reason. Human Torch into what? Falcon? Wolverine. That is not Falcon. That is not Falcon. Do Typhoid, and then I'll do Ares next. Also, I need to put the Ares variant I got on my card on this, actually. Yeah, you got this Fatal. They Vulture into Frigga, probably. If I were to guess... I don't know. Ronin. Oh, they got really bad draws, huh? Yeah, everyone is live. Everyone. Beats Heimdall. They move Ronin right? I don't know. Yeah, you don't have to. You gotta. You have more time to procrastinate. Way more time to procrastinate. Well, let me math here actually. If I play all this out, this goes to 11 power. I think this is the play. Dagger, Ghost Spider, Rhino. I think I lose right now. Oh no, I went tiebreaker. We win tiebreaker now. Sweet. Nova, Makari. Okay, so I just don't play my 1 cost out now. Project Pegasus. Galacta, Rocket and Groot. You lose 0, they lose Forge. Just can't play that out. Shaw. No. This is pretty rough for you, boy. I mean, Ares should be good here. Unless, no, it's Brood. I mean... We are drawing our big cards, which is nice. They only have one card in hand. And it's Killmonger. They have to tempo Killmonger, really. And then they have to pray. They draw Surfer. We get the Scar value, too. If they do draw Surfer... They move Rocket and Groot right for Surfer. They move Rocket and Groot middle. 25. Plus the Surfer value left. They're adding another 8 power, so we're at 33. Do we just do this? I think it's just that. Yeah. Yup. And we won that because Thaddeus Ross just went off multiple times for us. There we go. There is a very good example of Thaddeus Ross getting the value in a game. Let's do this. Nebula. No, Doom 2099 is a brain dead card. It is a brain dead card. We're playing High Evo. High Evo. Magic. Let's do this and that. Let me see what we can get going over here. We're snapping it. Snapping it. I'd rather have a meta dominated by Erishan than Doom 2099. Oh man. I don't know if I could deal with the meta dominated by freaking Erishan. That would probably kill me. Baron Mordo, Psylocke. What in the world? Scar? Oh, my card that cost is Scar. What do I have still in my deck? Coal Obsidian, right? Still have coal. As soon as I see the Baron Mordo, it kind of throws me off a little bit. They float. Okay. Sunspot. Okay, so they still have their big cards. Good to know. Good to know they still have their big cards there. I can do Typhoid here. And then I have some wiggle room. I like this. I like this. I let this go up a little bit. They don't get any sunspot value. But they have Abomination and She-Hulk. Or Abomination and Infinite. So it's Hulk, Big Hulk, and She-Hulk. So I do this, that, that, and that. They can't play Infinite out. I lose to a Shang-Chi. If they are running Shang-Chi, I lose to Shang-Chi. If they are not running Shang-Chi, I do not lose to Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi is 8 middle, so I would want Ross middle, but I play Ross, well, just in case they play Chi, right? But it's Abomination. Abomination is 9. Let me play it all here, actually. Just in case, right? Cyclops, High Evo, Armor. 0. Coal Obsidian. And Scar. Oh, do I lose to the Cyclops? Does Cyclops win them the game here? We tie, actually. We tie, actually, here. Interesting. This just threw me off. They run Baron instead of Misty. Or not instead of like Shocker. We get a bot for the last game. Huge. Huge. Wow. We get Elysium. Can I just snap here? I snap for Thaddeus Ross things. Thaddeus Ross saves us here. Saves us here. Look at that. Immediate draw. I think so. Whoa. Whoa dare. Whoa dare. Jubilee. To Daredevil. Go Ares here. Well, let's go just Typhoid here. Wave. Oh no, this is scary. Ares is a Capricorn, really? Really now? I'm gonna go Red Skull, Iron Patriot. What's this here? Dear Daredevil, or not to Daredevil. I'm only adding 3 power. Just play a card on the Baxter building and you'll be chilling. That's all you gotta do. Uh-oh. Vision? Well, that's not good. Oh, we get Hella, though. We do get Hella. And then it is boom, boom, bop. Or just in case. Oh, it's too late. It's too late. Oh, no. Oh, no. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. What a misplay. Doom! Doom and Sunspot. Man. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Deck guides are coming back. I'm telling you guys, we are going to be making more Snap content. I appreciate you guys for sticking around through. I know I've had a drought of Snap content, but I appreciate you guys watching all of the Buy or Bust and all of the Marvel Yaps. Please continue to like and support those. If you did enjoy this video, definitely feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. Let me know down below what your guys' thoughts are on Thaddeus Ross, and these new data mines are crazy. Let me know down below what your favorite card is. Until next time, you guys have a good one. God bless, and Tucker out.